It's birthday week, so I'm taking a full day off to celebrate my guy's birthday. Let's see if I can still get a little scrapbooking in this week. Last week on the Lazy Scrapbooker's next big project, I made room for journaling. My special paper I ordered arrived in perfect condition and I was able to get Jeff's stories on the page. Nicholas stole my straw, my seat, and my trimmers, and I forgave him. And I still managed to get so many pages done. Hi, I'm Donna Guest, the Lazy Scrapbooker, and thanks for joining me on my next big project. We're going to plan, organize, and create a pair of albums to celebrate my husband and son's 15-day road trip, their baseball blowout. I just spent a really fun hour tonight, well, nearly 2 hours, on my team Zoom crop. We have these once a month where some of my team members, we just get together on Zoom, we scrapbook and we chat, catch up, talk about creative memories, talk about other stuff. It's just a fun time. But I managed to do about 6 pages, I think, so that's good. And here's some of the highlights. I started with these 2 very simple pages, and I remembered to leave lots of room for journaling right there. Then I kept the simple pages going and leaving a little more room for journaling as well. Then I was excited that the next 2 pages had actually already been completed. These were my pages for the Savvy Scrapbookers Hit the Road video. Well, one problem, I need to fix this. There we go. It's a peekaboo pocket. It has not been attached yet. And then I love these 2 pages because I can't get enough of these railroads, and I'm really grateful that I've got so many opportunities to use them in this album. And I just spent about 5 minutes or more doing that title down there, and I wondered if it was necessary because I have Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania right here. Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania right here, and I felt the need to, again, put a title that was Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania. So let's flip back to these 2 pages, number 3 and 4 that I did tonight, and when I was putting my photos here, I started with just 1.5-inch borders here, here, and here for a very simple layout. And then I added the little border here. And so I thought my photos were going to fit just perfectly in here. And I overcut this one without properly measuring. So that's what happens sometimes when we don't measure. But then I thought of what would be the perfect thing to fill in right here. And it is the Craft Happy rub-on transfers. So I've saved this one to do right over here. So I'm only going to do a partial one. So why don't I go ahead and cut that the size it needs to be. It has not been removed from the backing yet. So I'm just going to cut it off. Let's see. I want it to go the same direction as this, obviously. So I've got to be careful with that. And maybe we just have the end here. And then I'll let this go into the wall or the jeeping right there, and this is left over for something else. So let me show you how to apply this now. So we're going to take this, and the hardest part was honestly cutting it out from these big strips right here because there's so many. There's 24 on one big long strip here, and so you want to cut out the individual one that you're using, and then I'm going to peel it off of the backing, and very carefully, this is going to be the slowest I ever do anything. And we're going to put this down carefully because once you put it down, there's no returning. You can't go backwards. All right, so I'm just going to rub it in there. And to make sure it's rubbed in properly, I'm going to use the hard edge, the pointy edge of the multi-tool. And I'm basically just rubbing, really digging in to this backing here. And I can tell that I'm doing a good job because it's going from black to very gray. So I know that I'm doing something. It was kind of lumpy because I've already done the page on the back and there are foam squares under there and I'm feeling those. I hope this works okay. But I'm rubbing that right off on the white scrapbook page. So now I'm going to carefully lift this up and I'm going to go very slowly because if it's not perfect, I can push it back down and rub it in a little bit more. But it looks pretty perfect. Look at that. Wow, I love it. That's so cool. And that one looks just like stitching from a baseball. Here's the only annoying thing about printing your journaling. The printer doesn't really tell you when it's almost out of ink. Before I head to bed, I'm going to get this journaling on the pages. I'm so excited about it. So I did something a little bit different than that because I was just out of room. But look over here, how perfect that is. It just fits. These pages that I did for the Savvy Scrapbookers video, I really love this layout. I fitted journaling where I could. A little bit here, a little bit here. And then this was cute. Jeff wrote what he called random thoughts about it, and I cut them out and put them on the little embellishment for journaling, but I had them typed. At the end of the night, I'm looking at my to-do list from the day, and I wrote this note to myself. This is pretty typical for my handwriting. All I can think of that is something to do with Facebook. That's an F and a B. I have no idea what that is. I completed my spring scrapbook sprint tonight. It was a month-long event on Facebook with 53 participants, and those ladies created over 1,200 pages this month. Amazing. Over 1,200 pages. I'm so proud of them for that. So if you want to get involved, look for my next event coming up. It's going to be my summer scrapbook sprint. That's hard to say. And that one's going to be starting July 3rd, going through August 1st. It is 8 fast and easy layouts, and there's lots of motivation, inspiration, and of course, prizes. You can find out more about this event and other events like this, because I do these once a quarter, on my website, thelazyscrapbooker.com. Just go to the events tab. I decided against the custom album covers for the road trip albums. I didn't think they needed it like the fire department albums did, but I think I've landed on just a pair of these. This is the Hit the Road album cover from Creative Memories. I think that's going to be perfect. The most pressing thing I have going on right now is my supply list is due for the layout I'm doing for the Alzheimer fundraiser, and I don't have that yet. So I finally landed on what pages I'm going to do. This is from day 15 of the trip, almost at the very end. And on the way home, they stopped by the Richard Petty Museum. And the photos here are exactly the shapes and quantity of what I had in mind for this layout. So I think this is a winner. But what papers to use? I had some racing papers that were just 2 sheets from one of the Growing Up packages. So I can't really use those only. And so I want to give something a little more concise on my supply list for the people who are participating. So I, of course, found Revved Up, which is still a current product. So that's absolutely perfect. I don't want to, use anything that they can't get if they want to duplicate exactly. So kind of shift gears here and create this layout. But now at least I have the supply list I need to turn in. So I feel much better about that. Sunday, June 1st was their birthday. The unofficial deadline I didn't meet. But no worries, it was such a fun day and all about my birthday boys. As tradition goes, they each get to pick a restaurant for the day. Jeff got lunch by default since his choice, Rodney's Barbecue in Dallas, Georgia, is open only until 3 p.m. Nathaniel, with a bigger milestone birthday this year, 20, appropriately got the dinner pick. It took him a while to choose. A day in advance, he started Googling nice places for dinner near me, which honestly was a relief after last year's Whataburger pick. However, I did hear him throw around the name Ruth's Chris, so my wallet and I waited with bated breath. He landed on Outback Steakhouse, mostly because he wanted a bloomin' onion before polishing off a steak. We finished the day off with his activity of choice and shut down Bolero at midnight with 4 games of bowling, where he puts more into his celebration routines than his actual bowling, and I am here for it. But guess what I gave them? Volume 1 of the project. Well, it doesn't have the proper cover yet, and the first page is not done, but days 1 through 7 are finished and in the book. All 48 sheets for 96 pages, which is the max an album should have. But I had to cut it off at the end of one of the days. They loved looking at Volume 1, and I can't wait for them to see Volume 2. So I guess we could say I met half of my unofficial deadline. Please forgive me. I look absolutely terrible, even by my middle of one of these video standards. But it has been so busy ever since the guy's birthday on Monday. I spent the day working. We had a new product release, had tons of stuff to do that I can't even remember what it was now. On Tuesday, I did get to go to the gym with the guys, and then our main focus was getting Nathaniel a new phone for his birthday, which we did, and he absolutely loves it. He's had the same phone since he was 12 years old. Honestly, I'm impressed that it still works and that he still has it and it's in one piece. I mean, from age 12 to 20, that's impressive. So we got him a new phone. And the best thing I could give him with that phone is a subscription to Spotify. I added him on with a family plan. That kid loves music, and so he's just loving it right now, which makes me so happy. So while I was there, I got a new phone as well, basically so I could have a better quality of video, which now that I'm thinking, this is the first thing I've filmed with it for this series, and I look like this. So, but with that change of technology, which if you've watched my videos, you know I hate to have a change in technology, I spent the rest of the day getting my new phone set up and getting the stuff from my old phone because it was so full. It was too full to transfer stuff to a new phone. I didn't know that was a thing, but it is. So today, Wednesday, I've pretty much spent the entire day creating a layout, filming it, editing the video, writing instructions, testing the instruction, and then producing the video along with a PDF. And that was for a fundraiser I'm doing for Alzheimer's called The Longest Day. And that is happening on June 21st. So I'll put a link to that in the description of this video if you're interested. There's 15 designers that are all contributing something, and the donation is $35. 100% of that is going to the Alzheimer's Association, and you get 15 layouts out of it from me and 14 other Creative Memories advisors. So now it's at the end of the day on Wednesday, and I've just been looking at my updated busy June calendar, and it scared me very much. But the first thing I've got to do is get ready for my Zoom class tomorrow. And to do that, I need to be ready for doing a power layout. And to do that, I've got to go sort some pictures, and they have nothing to do with this project. I got my Cancun pictures back, so I'm going to sort those just enough to where I can teach a 1-hour power layout class. That's number one. Number two is working on this project so that I can get something done and have the next episode. If it ends in just a minute, you'll know I didn't get anything else done. Okay, this has nothing to do with the project, but I'm at my computer and Jeff sent me a 5-page Word document that is his journaling from our Cancun trip. Now, I remember taking a short video and a picture of him and putting in an episode of him journaling in our hotel room in Cancun, which was amazing. But now I just got 5 pages, single-spaced Word document. I'm so impressed, so proud, and honestly so grateful because I'm reading it and I've forgotten most of this already. I stayed up past 4 in the morning, but I finished all of my photo sorting and created a wonderful outline for my Cancun album, which came out to be a perfect 80 pages. Seriously, that's perfect. Okay, that does not help me at all on this current project, but it does get me ready for tonight's power layout class. Tonight I had my power layout class, and now I've still got this mess to clean up, but I laid out about 23 pages in my Cancun album, which I realize doesn't help me at all on this project, so I'd better get to work. To finish up day 11 of the trip, I have a 3-page layout, again, if that's a thing, but this is for the game they attended that night. So here I've got all the stuff for 3 scrapbook pages. It looks like a mess, and I have no papers picked out at all. It looks like we have all of this memorabilia for this game. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a pocket page on the second page. So I can squeeze, it looks like I have a set of tickets and 9 photos and then memorabilia. So I can squeeze all that into 2 pages to leave space for the memorabilia in one pocket. So let me go grab a pocket page. So these Creative Memories pocket pages come with, of course, the staples. We've seen these. And they do come with some really nice cardstock in there. So I am probably going to just use some designer paper that I like both sides of. So when I do page 3 on the designer paper, the back side of that paper will be in my pocket page behind the memorabilia. So let me pick that out first. First, I need to figure out, what are the team colors? I have no idea. Oh, I see. Well, they are the Wilmington Blue Rocks, and I'm going to guess it's baby blue. I think this combination of baby blue and blue will be perfect according to this mascot's fur and his hat. But that does away with my idea of doing two-sided designer paper, so I'm not sure what I'll have in the pocket page just yet. Ooh, I love this paper. It's not Creative Memories. I got it at Hobby Lobby, but I've been waiting for the perfect opportunity to use it because it's gorgeous. I didn't realize there would be a team with baby blue. Now, do I want to put that in behind the memorabilia and cover it up with all that memorabilia? What does that look like? I don't know if I like that. It's covering up a lot of stuff. I want to take advantage of this paper. It's not even double-sided since it's not Creative Memory. So I think I'll actually use the cardstock for the first time ever that comes in the pocket page and build a page on that. So what is my go-to layout when I've got to get a lot of pictures on the page? A block layout. I think that's going to be perfect. But I want to use this paper and I want to use the cardstock. Do you ever just have one of those nights where you just can't figure it out? Well, I did just figure out that if I'm doing 3 pages, the first 2 pages that are together are going to be the photos, and I'm going to put these on the back. I don't know why I was thinking I would put that in the middle and then more pictures on the back. I have no idea. Okay, at least I've got that decision behind me. Now I can keep going on this. Here's where I'm going with this. I'm going to use the baby blue cardstock over here as my base, and I'm still doing a block layout, and I'm doing it over here in white. I may add some of the blue behind these tickets. I'm not sure, but I'm going to use this paper to fill in the blocks. And then on the back side of this will be the memorabilia. I'm waiting on this one right here because I may trim some of that sky off. I want to see how much space I need right here for my journaling. Jeff's journaling is just so valuable. I just appreciate it so much. It's made it really easy though, because I'm just going through page by page, day by day, and here's what I've printed for this game. I actually printed these two. These are the same thing. I printed it twice. One in 14-point font, which is what I've been doing consistently, but it was a little large for the space, so I also printed it in 13-point in case I need to fit that in. And that inconsistency does not bother me, actually. Okay, the journaling's in place. I was able to trim this photo once I figured out how big that was going to be. I'll figure out something cute to do there with the blue color. And then I use the 14-point over here, trim that photo a little, and it's just perfect. Now I'll finish the block layout. All finished, and I love it. You just can't beat a block layout when you have to get a lot of photos and journaling on the page and you need space. So it's so neat. I love it. It works for a guy's masculine, looking scrapbook. So this is perfect. All I did over here was just add a circle, since I need more baseball shapes in here. But there are no stickers or embellishments, just very, very simple. But I got to use that cool blue baseball paper. It was a 12 by 12 sheet, and this is how much I have left over. I barely used any of it to create these pages. I don't know what's going on with this memorabilia. I have these 2 pieces, and the third piece says the Rome Braves official roster from 2022. I have no idea how this got in there. Oh, maybe this is it. The Wilmington Blue Rocks roster is as of June 11th, 2022. Okay, this is making no sense because this was in 2024. Well, they brought it back to me. I'm putting it in. I'll ask Jeff about it. And here's the finished product inside the pocket page. Then when I flip it over, I have the memorabilia, or the questionable memorabilia there. I did add one little pinstripe there with some navy cardstock to match this. I thought about adding 2, but it was too much. I thought about adding some of the cool baseball paper, but it would really just be wasted here since not that much shows. So I've got my 3 pages done. And seeing how it's almost 2:30 in the morning, I should probably call it a night. I've got a big day tomorrow, lots to do. So I think that's enough for now. Well, not a lot of progress this week, but I still got some pages done. And I was super happy to at least give an almost finished volume 1 to Jeff and Nathaniel so they could start enjoying that and reliving those great memories. And last night I finished day 11 of the trip, so I just have 4 more days to go. And I'll be done with both of these albums. With the power layouts done, I know I can get this done quickly. I just need to make the time for it. I really want to bear down and get so much done, but we're planning a short trip next week to Columbus, Georgia to see the Braves' new AA team there. And while we're there seeing the Columbus Clingstones, I've been talked into going with them just over to Montgomery, Alabama to see, are you ready for this name? The Montgomery Biscuits. All I know is I'd better get a biscuit at that game. So hopefully tomorrow I can make some time for scrapbooking. And speaking of time, this video is due at 8 o'clock and it's almost 6 o'clock here, so I'd better get after it. Thanks for joining me for another episode, and I'll see you all next week.